Check. 1, 2. Check, check, 1. Hello, hello. This Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are live on StreamYard for some reason. Let's see. Is the camera thing working? There we go. If you didn't see before, there was a link provided, but I think Facebook likes to block links, so you may not have seen it posted earlier on the Facebook group. So if you haven't seen it, that's the link. I don't know if I just posted in the comments if that'll work or not. Feel free to tap that link. That's going to bring you into StreamYard. For StreamYard, for whatever reason, Facebook no longer is allowing us to connect in the agents and staff page. So I might create another page on Facebook so that we could broadcast live to Facebook, but then I'd have to add everybody to this new group. And I don't know if we can just get everybody to come to one place, it'd probably be a lot easier. So just hang on Facebook for a little bit, just so that way everybody sees what's going on and you get a notification. I see Jonathan here on StreamYard. What's up, Jonathan? Can you hear me, John?
Yes, Mr. Bozak.
How we doing?
Wonderfully.
Wonderfully. How's the weekend?
I had to do this open house that was very dead.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I respect the listing agent, so it's all good.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess Dave got sick. He had a fever.
Fever for the idea of doing a listing house, an open house.
He volunteered.
Well, fevers as an adult suck, so I don't envy that.
Let's see. All right, we're going to start in another minute or so. Look, guys, if you are tuning in on Facebook, click the link for StreamYard. That'll bring you into the studio. You'll be able to watch the presentation through there. Facebook no longer allows third-party integration for us to stream live videos from StreamYard. So unfortunately, you can go live on Facebook here, like I am now, but you can't do a presentation from a computer. So I can't do like a shared screen or anything like that. I could show you my screen with my phone, but I'd have to flip it around and do all kinds of crazy things. So if you are watching on Facebook, you can click that link. It'll bring it into StreamYard. Was it pretty easy for you to connect, John?
Yeah, I had to go in. I went into the text message that was sent, and then I had to go in, and it required me to sign in, and I couldn't just sign in with Google. I had to actually create an account through StreamYard, but it took like all you had to do was type in your email address, and then they sent you a code, and you were in.
Gotcha.
It was easy.
Yeah, I don't know why. We had a good thing going for a while. I could just go live in the Facebook and whatever. People could just watch on Facebook without having to do this registration. But I guess too many people were using these apps to go live, and I don't know. They allow you to do it on a page, but not in a group. All right, guys, we'll get rolling. I'll leave Facebook on. Who cares? You guys won't be able to see what I'm doing, but you'll be able to hear what I am talking about. So today we're going to go over some AI tools, most of which are things that I have been using, and also our team here at Remax Revolution have been using to obviously make our jobs easier. This is something that moving forward, there's a lot of buzz about it. Obviously, last year when it dropped, lately there really hasn't been anything crazy that I've seen that's going to change like a realtor's life. It really comes down to actually just using the technology to make it easier for you guys to be able to go about your days, of work. Being able to be efficient, be productive. It's just one extra thing that you have to learn, unfortunately. But once you do learn it, it really can save you guys a lot of time, and it's just really making an effort to maybe block out some time to learn it, and then also want to integrate it, and want to be efficient. Um, but I'm going to kind of take you through some things that that it does, and that I've been using it for, and then that way you guys can see what the cool features are and decide if this is something that you actually want to learn. So let's see. So I'll just go right in and share my screen. So guys, we're going to start with Chat GPT. So if you're seeing the screen, it's really easy to use. The one thing that I really love about Chat GPT, it's kind of like Google interface, where you just go in and there's really nothing to distract you. If you're a realtor that has ADD or ADHD, obviously things can distract you very easily. So whether it's an ad or a video, like certain, websites will obviously know, just based on your web searches, like what you're looking for. So it's going to pop up different things and you'll be like, oh, I want to click this because I want to learn about this before I go do what I want to do. And what happens? We get distracted. So it's a nice clean interface, as you guys can see. And what you're doing is you're just going to be literally just typing in what you want, just like you would on Google. But obviously, it's going to be spitting out some ideas. So I'll give you an example of something that I use this for just recently. A house that's currently under contract, 37 Harper's Ferry. If you can see, I actually on this one created my description, but I wanted Chat GPT to make it better. Maybe to use some words that maybe I'm not thinking of. Obviously we all have our own vocabulary. Some have an expansive vocabulary. Me, I didn't graduate with a 4-year degree, so I don't know all the words that are in the dictionary, unfortunately. But obviously I've been in the business for quite some time. But this is one of the things where you add another word or two, to your repertoire and maybe change kind of the timing and where things are in the description, it could just make your description better. And literally, it takes like 30 seconds. And if you look at my actual description that I used on Flex, it didn't actually mirror exactly what this was, but again, I just wanted some basics to add to it. I was not happy with my description, and I just wanted to make it better. I wanted to enhance it. So I'm going to go in and show you guys in live time what ChatGPT can do with the description. So let's say let's write a description in 700 characters or less regarding a real estate listing that I am marketing. The details about this property are: it has 4 beds, 2.5 baths, full basement, 2-car garage, located in Toms River, and has an in-ground pool. It is close to the parkway for commuting. And I'm just going to hit enter. And now it is typing me up something. So if you guys are on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see this. You could see it on StreamYard. But I went just,
I'm pretty sure this is witchcraft.
So this was pretty simple, and I don't think this really went to 700 characters, but it's a discover your dream home in Toms River featuring 4 beds, 2.5 baths, and a spacious full basement. This property is perfect for both comfort and entertainment. Enjoy the convenience of a 2-car garage and the luxury of an in-ground pool. Ideally located near the parkway, this home ensures easy commuting. Don't miss out on this captivating retreat. Now, those aren't my words, but what this does is it gives me a good ground for how I can maybe change some words to perfect this. So instead of racking my brain and sitting here for a half an hour to kind of try to figure out which way I want to go with this description, ChatGPT can definitely help you out and take you into some different directions, and you can try over and over again. And I can say to ChatGPT right now, let's also add in this has a new kitchen with a center island with quartz and all new appliances. And so now it's going to go and modify this description to add in what I forgot. Oh, and this is kind of the natural progression as you're entering a listing. You want to figure out like what do I want to highlight here? What did I forget? It's fine. I can put it back in. I don't have to go back in and start over again. And you can continue to over and over add different things by just typing in. Now
You can even tell it things like write it in the style of Mary Poppins.
I was just going to say that, but I was going to use SpongeBob as a write it.
Mary Poppins is funny, I bet.
Style of Mary Poppins. I haven't done that one yet. Let's try it. Step in time to this delightful rhythms of your new Toms River abode. This practically perfect home boasts 4 beds, 2.5 baths, with a splendid new kitchen featuring center island draped in quartz and sparkling new appliances. Descend to the spacious full basement or twirl your way out of the charming in-ground pool with a 2-car garage. Prime Parkway proximity for the nimble commuter. This home is a jolly holiday awaiting your arrival. So yeah, guys, as you can see, you could actually take different characters and different things, different writing styles, and incorporate them into your descriptions. So another thing that you can use ChatGPT for, outside of descriptions, and again, this is $20 a month, but I could tell you it's probably going to be the best $20 that you will spend. It will save you hours of times a month if you just use it. You just have to, be reminded that, hey, let me start here. And again, we're not trying to take away your words or your vision on what it is, this is just going to help speed things along. We're all busy, obviously, so the toughest thing to do is actually sit down and focus and to start to think. Sometimes it takes 10 to 15 minutes just to kind of get in a space mentally to be able to start to think. This will actually help accelerate the process, so you can start seeing some things, and it actually should spark some different ideas in your head, to be able to kind of activate all these amazing things that we have in our brains. Sometimes, again, it just takes a while for us to get it out on paper, or to type it out. Even just the idea of having the ability to have all the words be spelled correctly. That's something, or phonetically being able to use words in the right way. Obviously, email allows you to, auto correct any spelling errors, but this will actually make it so that it is already correct.
Also, really helpful, Justin. I find it helpful for writing cover letters for your buyers as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's
Cover letter for the email you're sending to the other agent, letting them know what your buyer liked about the house, and selling your buyer to the other agent. That one. It does a really good letter, like to just say, my client was enamored with the, bridal staircase when they walked in, and they, couldn't get over the pool, and the children love the finished basement, and they gives you the right words to say to make friends with the other agent and let your contract rise to the top with a nice email on top.
Yeah, I guess the point is, if you're ever stuck on anything like this, you could use this. That might be something you use once in a while, but you could use this literally every day. So another thing that I put into ChatGPT just earlier, can you provide me with a breakdown of steps of what buyers need to know step by step on how to start looking for a home up to closing? Like, me even like typing that doesn't even make sense. Like, I reread it and I'm like, whatever, I just put it in. ChatGPT knows what I'm trying to say here, and it did. It broke down in a list. What do we have? 7 steps, but also broke down within the steps other steps. So I think there was 25 different steps on what a buyer may need to know. And I think this is something that's really important for us as agents, because obviously we do this every single day. But I think we forget that a lot of buyers, if they haven't done it in a while, or if they're obviously first time buyers, that they don't know a lot of this stuff. And then we assume that they know that you got to get pre-approved for a mortgage, or you got to figure out a budget, or that they would know how to use a mortgage calculator. I mean, I know some real estate agents that don't really know how to use a mortgage calculator, or just don't use a mortgage calculator. These are things that I put in because I actually want to create videos around this, and be able to use these videos as almost a library, to be able to point or direct a buyer back to those videos. And that way, I know I don't have to worry about missing something. And I could say, oh, here's a video for that. Here's a video for that. Obviously, I can have those conversations too. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't want YouTube or AI to replace me. I want it to enhance who I am. I want to make sure that I'm giving my buyers all the information, but we have so much information. It's like, does a buyer have time, or do they want to sit there for 2 hours and listen to us go over every single step when they're on just step 1? They're going to tune out. Yes, all the rest of the steps are important, but if they're not on those steps, they're not going to be really excited about it. And, they're not going to retain that information, when it's not going to be used for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, who knows, months, next year. They just know that, for step 1, I got to figure out my finances, obviously get my credit up, save for a down payment, determine my budget, and get pre-approved for a mortgage. And then maybe, look at step 2, which is making the wish list and figuring out what areas I want to buy in, and, what kind of home I want. That's really going to be as far as most buyers go, obviously, when they get started. Obviously, hopefully they found you as a real estate agent. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But beyond that, making an offer, negotiating, things like that, all great things to talk about. But I feel like if we all had different videos on kind of how we approach those situations, that's something that, oh, yeah, I don't feel like calling right now, but maybe I'll watch some of these videos and figure out what the next steps in the process are. Because the next steps, they could really hinder what's happening on the beginning of the process. if they don't understand how the end of the deal works, or what closing costs are and things like that. If you don't know about how much the closing costs are, which is like a lot of times you don't find out until like the last week. But a lot of times we have buyers that say, "Oh, I only have X amount of money. I need my closing costs to be under this." Like I can't determine I can give you a budget on what they might be, but you're gonna have to talk to your attorney, and who knows how the deal goes and when it closed. Like those are all things that have to potentially be adjusted. So it's safer to give your client a range on what those um, closing costs may be. So what better way to have like a video tutorial just on a simple YouTube page just for real estate that you can create, announcing these things. That's something that we'll get into later, but you could actually take 25 different videos, or if you want to just have 7 different videos, you could take those 7 videos. They could be 5 minutes each. They could be 10 minutes, maybe max. And then what we can do is we can clip those down to little tidbits, which you can make reels or YouTube shorts out of that'll actually redirect buyers back to your YouTube page. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to be a guinea pig here. I'm actually going to do it. It's been in my head for weeks now. I just haven't had the time to do it. And I think this might be actually the last Monday Zoom until September, October, when things start to slow down, because I know everybody's busy. I know I'm busy. Things are getting crazy. I think we just got to focus on doing business right now. And, if you're behind on kind of learning on how to do business, I mean, there's more time for the education in the latter part of the year. But I think once I do that and I can kind of show you guys how it works, maybe that's something that some of our agents in the office also can just copy and do. Another thing that I typed in that we can use through ChatGPT: what are some local Jersey Shore topics that can be added to a real estate agent who focuses on Instagram to increase followers who are interested in buying homes at the Jersey Shore? Again, another run-on sentence. Who cares? This is giving me everything that I need as far as what might be the most important things as an agent that I could feature on my Instagram. That's going to be able to, get me new people, new followers. It also helps obviously with your current followers being able to point out certain things. So these are things that obviously we've talked about in the past, but it's another thing to be able to look at something, right? Because if you have your Chat GPT account set up and this is here and this exists, this is going to continue to be here. It doesn't go away. You don't type in, your theory on what you want to do and then have to worry about copying and pasting and saving somewhere. It actually saves in Chat GPT, which is a great feature. So you can go back to it at any time. You can enhance it. If you don't have time to spend on actually doing this today, you can come back a week later and say, I have a new idea. What if we do this? You could actually just continue to feed Chat GPT to make these results even better. So some real estate insights, you can do some market trends, neighborhood guides, property tours, obviously home staging tips. I know Carol Conahan was doing an awesome job at one point doing home staging tips, but she is working. She got a job as a assistant in the Toms River School District, but I thought that was really cool. There was a lot of different things that I learned from Carol that I actually didn't know or actually even didn't think about. And that's the one thing I think we all have information and we assume that a lot of buyers or even other agents know all this stuff. And it's not always the case, right? So, if somebody catches your video, or your tip, and it's the one thing that they didn't know, I mean, I'm going to be like, I'm going to watch more videos, or I'm going to listen to this person more because they're offering some things that I never thought about. Lifestyle and community, we have local stories, historical insights, community involvement, local businesses. Obviously, we've promoted that a bunch of different times, but I think the way you should look at it is, what are the things that you guys have done, or are doing in your life? What have you really enjoyed? What makes the Jersey Shore special to you, or what makes certain towns special to you? What are your favorite food spots? Like, it doesn't need to be like, Dave Portnoy from Barstool going around all around the world and trying pizza, right? We don't have to be Dave Portnoy, but, can you actually just highlight the businesses that you actually go to? That's a key feature, because not only are you obviously going to help their business, you're actually giving a good review to somebody potentially in the future that could be a future client or could be a friend. You're helping somebody's business, but you're also gaining, potentially some followers to your page that are going to align with what you're saying. Tips and advice, buying tips for first time buyers, investment advice, navigating the local real estate market, living the beach life. Bill Feehan in the office is a surfer. Rob Hennessy, obviously, he's doing the boogie board thing in Asbury Park. I think they do a decent job of actually highlighting that stuff, but the more they could do it, obviously, the more they're going to attract people that are like them. And it doesn't need to be like, oh, you need to be an agent that understands like this specific market. It's like, dude, like we have this in common. I can trust you. Like I want to use you as my agent. That's really all it takes. I think a lot of agents like to overthink it. Like, oh, I got to dominate this area or dominate this market. It's just like, just dominate you as a human. Like share who you are. John, a perfect example for you. Like, and I noticed more and more you're doing some real estate things where you're actually like singing. That's actually cool, because that shows me like, oh, John's a good singer, and he's also taking real estate and using tips related to real estate, but using it in a way where he's actually singing. Like that's super genius to me. Like being able to do that, um, you know, it just highlights multiple different things at the same time. It shows who you are. It shows your personality, and you're accomplishing something that shows that you're also a realtor. Interactive content, this is a little bit more advanced. I'd say, probably you're going to wait until you have a bigger following, but question and answer sessions, polls and surveys, contests and giveaways, things like that. So again, this literally took me 15 seconds to type in, but gave me a ton of ideas on what I can do to help grow my social media. Scripts. It'll actually write a 30-second script. Can you write a 30-second script talking about the Jersey Shore real estate market? Gives me an opening scene, and narrator tells me to do it in an enthusiastic tone, tells you actually what to do as far as getting what we call B-roll. Cut to scenes of bustling boardwalks, charming beach houses, and people enjoying various beach activities. Like these are things that obviously we aren't thinking about when we're just trying to do a 30-second video script, but it reminds you that, oh, let me go get some B-roll just to make this even better, because I don't have to be on camera the whole time. Maybe I'm on camera for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, but now ChatGPT can allow you to be able to it's going to tell you what to capture. Tells you to cut to a real estate agent as a clip showing a beautiful beach house. So, as you're doing this, it's like, all right, now I have to make a list of all the different things that I have to do. So when I shoot this video, I want to make sure that I can get good audio in a spot where, maybe, the sun's not in my eyes, right? I'm going to set up, I'm going to do, my quick thing, right? Have a nice natural background that maybe people can recognize at the Jersey Shore that I'm actually here. I'm not in the studio somewhere, in Kansas shooting this. I'm here. But then also when I'm done with that, I'm going to do, some more B-roll, which is just, again, video. And you can do it with your phones now. This isn't anything that's crazy. And then that's pretty much it. Tells you to cut to a sunset view over the ocean with a silhouette of a family playing on the beach. Obviously, we're on the East Coast, so you can cut to a sunset view over the bay, not over the ocean. But this is really giving you some cool ideas on how to do a 30-second video. Super advanced. Like I would have never thought of all this stuff. And then what else do we have? Yeah, so I asked it to provide me with 10 ideas for social media posts about the Jersey Shore. And this is just giving you just a quick, information with even emojis, So again, you could just copy and paste this, and you can add some things to it, right? It has some hashtags here, so to me, it's only showing 2 hashtags. I'm not sure how up to date ChatGPT is on hashtags, but I think this is probably, circa 2021, 2022, where these hashtags would be super relevant to, what the topics are. So, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of ways that we can use Chat GPT again to enhance it. And this is just on the real estate side of the business, right? We all have lives. We all have different things that we want to do, whether it's, you know, you want to get medical advice instead of looking on Google and, you know, thinking that you're dying. You know, you don't want to listen to everything that you read on Google, because sometimes it tells you all the worst. And by the time you read through, you know, 7 different links, you know, you think the worst, you know, but that might not be the case. You know, so you could actually use it, you know, for basic things as well. Let's see. So next thing I want to go over with uh, you guys on AI is a site that you guys have probably heard about from us for quite some time, but I'm not sure if you've ever used it. So the website's boxbrownie.com. So we have access to this on the back end. So if you guys ever wanted us to do anything, if you want to message Jen or message Abby, they can actually handle this, because there is some user interface or user input that you have to put in to get the information. You've got to create an account. You've got to put money in the account in order to get these things done. For renderings, we don't use it for renderings, for 3D renderings. We have a guy that actually does it in the Philippines. It's cost wise, it's about the same. I think he's between 200 to 300, depending on what he's doing for the renderings, but it's not a bad price. So if you wanted to take a 2D scale, you know, new construction, you know, you could obviously use Box Brownie for it. But if you wanted a little bit more input, you know, we again use a guy in the Philippines that can do all this stuff. So image enhancement, that's pretty easy. I mean, this is really, if you're using like Motion City Media, you guys won't need to do image enhancement, but you may need to use virtual staging. So the virtual staging aspect of it, it's pretty cool, because you can kind of pick like what style of furniture you want, how many pieces you want. Do you want a TV? Do you want artwork? Things like that. Do you want curtains? So you can really direct it um, to give it the feel that you want. You know, it's not just gonna just spit something out and then you just have to deal with it. You have some ability to kind of direct what the virtual staging is going to come out like. The Data Dusk, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen this all before. Just adds a different element, you know, to the house. Not a huge fan of the Data Dusk, because I could tell it's fake. So anytime I see it on the MLS, I'm like, it's fake. I could tell. But if you want to use it, you know, it's just gives you a different picture. Um, you know, if maybe the skies were cloudy, instead of doing like a blue sky enhancement, you want to just spend $4 and get a, you know, cool skyline with the sunset behind it. Great. I think the skies are cool, but you know, with the lighting on the interior of the houses, um, just it doesn't look authentic to me. I've done the dusk actual shots, and they look a lot different. So I personally can tell. Maybe the average consumer can't. But you know, again, for $4, pretty cool. Item removal and virtual cleaning, $4 to $8. So you can see what they did with this room. You know, sometimes we have it. Maybe it's a tenant. Maybe it's a client that just doesn't understand what a version of clean actually means. But you know, it allows you to kind of, you know, get rid of everything in the room and kind of give you a clear picture on what it, you know, would look like, obviously, when they take their stuff out of it, when they move out. Floor plans. So we actually use these. So the floor plans are cool because you can take a 2D floor plan and bring it to life by dropping furniture, just so you can kind of see the spacing. Allows you to kind of get a better idea on kind of what the flooring could be, whether it's tile or wood, especially on new construction. It doesn't really show you that in a 2D plan or a architect's plan. They'd have to go to like a spec sheet or obviously read the description in order to see it. But a lot of people, it's just easier for them to, you know, see it on a 3D plan with color and you know, with the flooring there. Okay, I can see on here that is actually wood. You know, so that's something that we use a lot for our new construction. So if you ever wondered where we get that from, Box Brownie. Image enhancement, again, you know, that's something where if you could see on the left hand side, the sun, this is probably taken with a phone camera, but the sun's completely coming into the house, blowing out the picture. You cannot see outside.
The image enhancement will actually take it, reduce that glare, and that way you could see what the actual view was. Motion City, again, they take 5 to 6 exposures on the interiors. And what that allows them to do is blend the different colors and changes. And one of those things that's most important is being able to see through windows and through doors, because otherwise you get glare coming through. It allows you to see clearly through because they're changing the exposure as they're taking the pictures. So I think that's why it's super important to hire a professional photographer to do your photography, because again, on the left, typical of what you may see with somebody taking it with your phone camera. As great as these cameras are, they're not taking 5 to 6 different exposures, and you're not going and post editing them and changing all this stuff out. Super complex for us to do. Again, virtual staging 360. We haven't used this yet. So I'm wondering if this is for Matterport. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it, but I think that's newer. Virtual renovations. I've seen some people use this as well. This is something where it's showing, what could be built into a finished sunroom versus what somebody started. This obviously you could see prices from $24 to $176. And then that's pretty much it. So Box Brownie, great way. I mean, this has been AI that's been used for quite some time. Great service. Turnaround time is usually 24 to 48 hours max. We've had great relationship using Box Brownie, and clients seem to love it. Let's see. I think the last thing we'll go over is something that we've been using in-house as well for video. So if you guys have ever seen any of the video clips that are actually taken from these meetings, we're using something called Opus.pro. So anybody that's looking to use video, this is something where you can take a 30-minute video or an hour video. It'll actually cut it down into clips, and you can tell it to cut it down in either 30 to 1 minute clips. If you want a 5-minute clip, you can really tell it to do whatever you want it to do. It'll actually go through the entire video, and within 20 to 30 minutes, right? It's an hour video. So within 20 to 30 minutes of an hour video, it's actually taking clips. It's adding text captions over the top, and it's telling you what Opus Pro thinks would be the best performing clips that were used on that half an hour or an hour video. And again, it's doing it within 20 to 30 minutes. So think about that. For you to do an hour video and to send it to an editor, he'd have to watch it for an hour. He'd be able to take notes as he's watching it for an hour. Then he'd have to guess what the best clips are. Then he'd have to go back in and add the captions to those clips, which is more work. Then you'd have to take them, upload them, send them to you. And you're probably looking at, in order to kind of create, let's just say 10 to 15 clips out of an hour, it's probably about 5 to 6 hours worth of work. That's not cheap. If you hire an editor to do it, or if you want to obviously do it, this is something that within 20 to 30 minutes, and I think we're paying like $50 a month for it. And we can actually run more videos through here. So if you guys wanted to create some video content, and if you want to utilize our account, we'd have to figure out a fee, but let us know. We'll take a guinea pig if you want to be the beta trial for somebody that wants to shoot video, depending on what you want and what the input is versus what the output is. We can kind of figure out a custom rate for you based on it. Again, we haven't done it, rolled it out to anybody in the company yet, but again, this is something that I've been able to use from the videos, and some of those clips that we used from let's just say I think the waterfront one that me and Abe did. I think we had like 2,000 views on that on Instagram, which is super random. Wasn't even that great of video because I think we did that one on Zoom. So the resolution wasn't great, but the content was good. So, we had a bunch of views on that clip. So the nice thing is that, again, Opus is going to automatically, figure out what the best performing videos are. You can see here virality score. So this is showing based upon AI. It's going to judge your actual video that you shot and tell you if it's good or not. Not a human, through AI, and obviously AI is what controls the algorithm when you're dealing with social media. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, okay. Another thing that I wanted to kind of just go over. So, I think you guys have probably heard this before. There's something called answerthepublic.com. So, answerthepublic.com is a website that allows you to pretty much type in different things that people are searching, or look for different things that people are searching online. And then you can create content around whatever it may be. So if you wanted to create content about, I don't know, commuting to New York City or something, or what to do at the Jersey Shore, it's going to actually give you maybe some different responses of what people are looking for, or what people are typing into Google, or to even to YouTube, depending on what you guys want to create. So there's many different ways to use AI to just basically enhance your every day-to-day actions as far as being a realtor. Number one. Number two, again, social media and video and content. And I know we push that a lot. And I know it's not easy because we're all busy. We're all trying to do real estate and balance family and all that stuff. But it's making the effort to block out maybe some time in your calendar to focus on it, to get started. The hardest thing to do is to get started. And I think that's the thing that I wanted to stress here, is that there is an easy way to get started now. It's ChatGPT. It's going to help launch you guys to again create more ideas, create some content ideas where you can just kind of take it and then just see where it goes. There might be some things that are in there that you might not be sure about, and you may say, "Oh, I'm not, I don't know about this thing," but it could be the thing that actually hits. And that's the thing, is we only know as agents what we see. We don't always know what consumers are actually looking for, and what consumers are actually asking for, and what's actually most important to the consumer. I think we stress kind of the specific things that are important to us to do our day-to-day jobs, but a consumer is going to see it differently because they don't even know what we do. So their questions, their line of thinking could be completely different than what we're used to. And there's certain times that I had to take a step back and I said, wow, that's a great question. Nobody's really even brought that to my attention, but I can see why somebody would ask that. You just don't know at the end of the day. So that's it, guys. If anybody has any questions, feel free. But other than that, we will wrap. And I think this will be the last, for now, Monday session. And if you guys have any questions about anything that I've covered, throughout the year, really the stress is for you guys to kind of, find your market, find your niches, be experts, create content. This is kind of the stress of what I wanted to focus on for Mondays for you guys. And it's really time to take action now. If you're not going to take action, I mean, it's not going to take any further. It's what you expected from this year and what you expect from next year. It's really what you put into it. You only know so many people. When the market changes, when volume drops, like, how are you going to reach new people? Like this year, I've definitely reached some new people. I've definitely stepped outside of just working with past clients, just knowing that volume was down last year, knowing volume could be down this year. I did a couple of different things to try to kind of curate some new clientele, and it's definitely worked. This year is going to be a very good year for me. Last year I was a little bit down. The year before was a great year. So the market kind of ebbs and flows, and I think every single year we just need to do a good job just kind of increasing our exposure to new people. And again, strangers don't necessarily need to be strangers. If they're following you for quite some time and they see what you're doing and they understand what they're doing, and they meet you or they see you out in public and they know you and they're, willing to kind of come up and say, hi, oh, you're the guy that, that's on the billboards, or you're the guy that does the waterfronts, or you're the guy that's Field of Dreams. It happens. Because I'm also doing a lot of what I do within my actual community where I'm out and about at, and that's the other thing. If you're trying to do a bunch of business in a community that you're not really integrated into, like, how are the people going to be able to bump into you or see you out and about, right? They're going to bump into, the people that are realtors that live in that area, whether it's at the grocery store or at the baseball field or at whatever local events are happening in that area, or at the coffee shop or at the store. We've got to be really ingrained in our neighborhoods. Like, that's something that, just seeing somebody out and about that follows you on social media and have them come up to you and then that lead into future business, like, that happens like every day of the week, guys. Not every day of the week to me, but I'm telling you, it is happening for other agents that are actually putting themselves out there, letting people know more about what they do day to day, personally, but also obviously with their business. So it's a lot. I know it's a lot, and the challenge is really just getting started for a lot of the agents. So yeah, guys, that's it. I will see you Thursday. And again, if anybody has any questions, if you have some thoughts on anything that I went over today and you wanted to expand on any of it, if you have any thoughts really on anything that I've covered, the first half of the year, give me a shout and we'll go from there. Later, guys.